10 years after Bahamut's sealing, the humans with their gigantic golems and dragons attack the Temple Ark, which is God's sanctuary. Under the command of King Charios, they massacre everyone using the power forbidden by the gods. As the humans continue to enslave and slaughter the demons in retaliation, a demon called Rag Demon starts killing the humans who are doing these things. On the other hand, in the capital city, Anatea, a cheerful young girl named Mina, goes to her job while greeting everyone on the road with a smile. As she goes to her job, she does every task with ease thanks to her brutal strength. During her work, when Nina helps a handsome painter remove his scaffolding, he thanks her in a beautiful manner, which makes her heart race and feel embarrassed. She then notices that the painter is painting a picture of King Charios when he defeated a Bahamut at Nina's village. Nina returns to the carriage where she has been living with two gods, Bacchus and Hamsa. Bacchus and Hamsa have been living as bounty hunters. However, as they get a new bounty on the Rag Demon, Nina gets interested in the Rag Demon and goes to hunt him down for a reward. Rag Demon, again on the loose to kill the demon slave traders, attacks a group of certain people surrounding the demon slaves. However, it all turns out to be Captain Kaisar's scheme to capture the Rag Demon. But with his insane assassination skills and lightning speed, the Rag Demon somehow manages to escape. While running away, he encounters Nina, who tries to attack him with whip, but her whip gets stuck with a nearby handle, allowing Rag Demon to flee again. Suddenly, Kaiser arrives and meets Nina, but she gets embarrassed by his beauty and accidentally hits him. The soldiers think that Nina is allied with the Rag Demon and start chasing her. Nina, unknown of the fact, continues her search for the Rag Demon and meets his friend named Mugaro on a large tower. When the soldiers attack Nina, the Rag Demon mistakes her for Mugaro and rushes to save Nina. When the Rag Demon grabs Nina and flies with his wings, Kaiser becomes doubted about him. On the other hand, Nina, watching the Rag Demon's beauty, her heart pounding to the extent that she suddenly turns into a large dragon, forcing the soldiers to retreat. After passing out, she wakes in an unknown room and finds a doctor named Rita and her assistant named Rocky alongside her. Rita tells Nina that after she blacked out, Azazel took her here. However, Azazel appears to be the Rag Demon. On the other hand, unable to catch Azazel, King Charios gets angry at Kaisar for his lousy performance. He dismisses Kaisar and his soldiers from the mission and reassigns it to the Onyx soldiers. When Kaisar and his men leave, King Charios orders one of the Onyx soldiers to keep an eye on Kaisar. Meanwhile, when Nina is about to leave the place, she encounters Azazel and Mugaro, who have been waiting for her. By Azazel's good looks, Nina gets blushes again, but she controls her feelings and tries to sneak from them. Azazel stops her and introduces himself as the Rag Demon and requests to join forces with her. When Nina cannot make a decision, Azazel shows her the slums where the demons live. He tells her how King Charios attacked the demon world and enslaved them here. Azazel insists, but Nina refuses to help him. Afterward, during his dead body's picking job, Kaiser, watching Azazel, realizes that, undoubtedly, he is the Rag Demon. Later that night, Azazel is again on the loose to kill the cruel humans. As he kills some humans, Kaiser suddenly arrives and stops him. He says that he is not here to fight, but to warn him that King Charios is very serious about killing him. Kaiser gets shocked to see how the humans have tortured and killed the demon there. Azazel tells Kaiser that he is mankind's enemy and he will destroy the humans for the sake of the demons. Azazel leaves without killing him, but one of the Onyx soldiers secretly watches Kaiser with the Rag Demon. As Kaiser is about to leave, he encounters several Onyx soldiers. Azazel tries to escape, but the soldiers catch him. However, when they are about to reveal his secret, Mugaro suddenly arrives and saves Azazel with his insane powers and two different colored eyes. Meanwhile, the angels detect Mugaro's powers in the royal capital Anatea and decide to look for him so they can regain the faith the humans once had in the gods. As Azazel got severely injured last night, Rita treats his wounds while Mugaro sleeps beside him. Watching Mugaro, Azazel remembers the time when he attacked a slave trader and saved Mugaro. Meanwhile, Nina defeats several macho men in arm wrestling and earns a lot of money. An angel Sophiel arrives at the capital and meets Bacchus, asking him if he knows a child having two different colored eyes. King Charios, while masquerading, passes by. However, Hamsa, watching a beautiful young man, suddenly challenges him. Charios first tries to ignore them, but after hearing Hamsa's cunning words, he accepts the challenge and gives one of his rings as the entry fee. Nina blindfolds herself not to get distracted again. As the challenge starts, Charios evenly matches Nina's brutal strength. However, after much struggle, Nina shows her true power by breaking the table and defeating Charios. Charios smiles at his defeat and asks Nina who she is. Nina introduces herself but gets embarrassed and rushes inside the carriage. Later, King Charios orders to execute of all the demons in the central plaza so they can capture the Rag Demon there. On the other hand, while eating dinner with Nina and others, Rita asks Nina how she ended up being a bounty hunter. When Nina reveals that her master is Favaro, everyone becomes shocked. Suddenly, Kaiser reaches there and informs Rita that Azazel will be killed tonight if they do not help him. Hearing this, Nina rushes to save him while Azazel encounters King Cherios. Azazel fights with the king's army and starts defeating and dodging their attacks easily. However, the enormous power of sorcery beats Azazel and reveals his true identity. They try to capture Azazel, but he somehow manages to escape. While running to save Azazel, Nina meets Mugaro. Suddenly, when Azazel, severely injured, falls there, Nina, with no other option, turns into the red dragon and faces King and his army. Nina starts destroying the army, forcing the king to retreat and fall back. As Nina returns to normal, Rita arrives and takes her away. The following day, Azazel, severely wounded, awakes and decides to visit the demon's hideout to plot a new scheme against Cherios. On the other hand, King Cherios meets a woman named St. Jean in the dungeon and offers her to join him conquer the demons and the battle of gods. However, when Jean keeps quiet, King Cherios threatens to kill her son as he has found him among the demon slavers. As Azazel goes to the demon's hideout, he meets several demons and informs them of his intention to use the red dragon to launch an attack during the next parade. Meanwhile, Nina goes shopping for clothes and shoes with Mugaro, mistaking him for a girl. While shopping, they see a slave trader using a magical collar to abuse his demon slaves. Nina tries to stop him, but the trader does not listen to her and instead warns her that if she keeps up like this, he will make her slave as well. Nina gets ready to fight them, but Mugaro uses his magical powers. He frees the demons, allowing them to attack the trader. Sophia detects Mugaro's powers, but before she can trace him, Mugaro and Nina leave the place. When they return to the carriage, Nina informs Bacchus and Hamsa that Mugaro was very cool today as he chased away those awful people who were torturing the demons. Bacchus and Hamsa become doubt that Mugaro may be the child Sophia has been looking for. On the hand, while discussing the King Cherios, Kaiser points out that Bahamut was defeated because humans, demons, and gods work together, but Cherios does not agree to stop their execution. Bacchus and Hamsa become shocked to see Mugaro's different colored eyes and realize that he is the child all gods and angels have been looking for. The following day, Nina and others prepare a food stall for the upcoming festival. As they need more chili peppers and chicken wings, Nina goes to buy the stuff. After purchasing, when she is about to return, she encounters that slave trader with 3 handsome men. They attack Nina, but she is unable to resist because of their beauty, which makes her heart race heavily. Suddenly, Cherios arrives and saves her from the slavers. Nina thanks him and invites him to their food stall. On the other hand, Azazel and other demons plan their attack on the upcoming parade. They plan to defeat King Cherios with the help of the Red Dragon. Later that evening, Cherios meets Nina at the food stall, where Bacchus asks him to take Nina around the festival. Nina begins to develop feelings for Cherios as they dance and have fun together. After the festival, when Nina asks for his name, Cherios introduces himself as Chris. At the castle, Kaiser meets King Cherios and tells him not to attend the parade as the demons are involved in suspicious activities. However, King Cherios refuses to do so and gets ready for the demons' attack. The festival day finally arrives, with demons preparing for their attack. On the other hand, Bacchus tries to talk with Mugaro about his unusual powers, but Mugaro stays silent and only responds with a smile. When Sophia suddenly arrives and asks about Mugaro, Bacchus gets scared but lies that he is just a demon child he hired for work. When the parade finally comes, Nina and Mugaro go to watch the parade. However, Azazel suddenly arrives and takes Nina with her. He tells her to transform into the Red Dragon. He hugs her and tries to kiss her, but she does not feel her heart racing or embracement, preventing her from transforming into the Red Dragon. Watching his plan getting failed, Azazel rushes to stop their attack. But it already gets late as Cherios traces his companions and starts killing them. As Azazel arrives there, he gets attacked by the Onyx soldiers. When the Onyx soldiers surround Azazel, Mugaro suddenly appears in the sky, defeating the Onyx soldiers and revealing his true identity openly. Azazel then attacks Cherios and hand-to-hand fights with him. Their fight continues, but Kaiser suddenly appears and tries to stop both of them, saying their fights cannot settle anything, and they can live together in peace. However, not only Cherios, but also Azazel declines his nonsense and continue their fight. Cherios and Azazel fight each other while Kaiser, being a third man, fights both of them to stop their fight. Kaiser beats Azazel and manages to stop Cherios from killing him. Suddenly, Sophia and the angels show themselves and seize Mugaro's powers. Azazel screams and requests Nina to turn into the dragon to protect everyone. However, even after trying, Nina fails to transform while the angels take Mugaro, Bacchus, and Hamsa to heaven. After that, Kaisar and Nina have been accused of helping the Red Demon with their attack on Parade and suspicious connection with the Red Dragon are imprisoned in the prison tower for the rest of their lives. Nina resists, saying that he's not a great king, but an evil king who kills the harmless demons for nothing. King Cherios laughs and orders to take them away. On the other hand, Mugaro awakes in the heaven and meets several angels and God Gabriel. Lady Gabriel informs him that his name is El and Jean is his mother. She offers him to join forces with them so he can meet his mother. Sophiel meets Bacchus and Hamsa, where Bacchus asks her why they need Mugaro. Sophiel tells him Mugaro has the capabilities of breaking the forbidden magic used by humans. Nina is imprisoned by Jean, while Kaisar becomes shocked to see Favaro there. Nina writes a letter to her mother lying to her that she is now living with her friends. Nina and all other girls are bound to work with heavy chains bind to their foot. However, this does not hurt Nina thanks to her brutal strength, but she gets Jean's attention. On the other hand, Kaisar tells Favaro that he was imprisoned with Nina. Favaro tells Kaisar his relation with Nina and remembers how he met Nina. Once he went to Nina's dragon village, where young Nina met him and asked him to make her his apprentice. After much resist, he made Nina his apprentice and teaches her some techniques. However, after he left the dragon town, he got arrested by Onyx soldiers and then imprisoned there. Meanwhile, Jean meets Nina and shares her food with her. After introducing herself, Nina reveals that she was captured with Captain Kaisar, which shocks Jean. Later in their cell, Nina tells Jean about her friend Mugaro, which Jean believes to be her son, and becomes desperate to flee and see him. On the other hand, Rita is on her way to prison to save her friend. Jean tells Nina about her past, that after losing her divine powers once she had as a saint, she became helpless. During a demon's invasion, she was unable to defend a child from a demon's attack. However, after some time, when King Cherios took the throne, he declared the days when man feared the demons and bowed to gods are over. Jean refused to obey her and left the castle. Jean spent several months in poverty in a small house alone, but she continues to pray to Lord Michael. One night, she was gifted by a child called El. She spent a lovely time with El. However, one night, Sophiel, being hunted by the Onyx Knights, reached Jean's house. Jean treated Sophiel, but when she encountered the Knights and resisted to their demand, the Knights tortured her, forcing El to suddenly activating his abilities. Jean and El ran away to Anatolia while the Onyx Knights chased them. Jean, with no other option, cut off El's wings and left among the demon slaves. However, she was quickly captured and imprisoned after. Hearing the emotional story of Jean, Nina starts crying and plans to get out of jail with Jean. The following day, during their lunchtime, Jean and Nina try to escape the prison. However, one of the security guards watching them escape the prison whistles and informs everyone around there. Meanwhile, Lady Gabriel convinces El to help them bring back peace to the unstable world. She also promises El that with helping them, he will be able to see his mother again. After that, with her magic, Lady Gabriel heals El's wounds, wings, and restores his voice. On the other hand, Rita enters the prison and, with the help of Rocky, starts knocking out the guards. During her invasion, she learns that the prisoners' work is part of some Cherios' scheme. Meanwhile, Lady Gabriel and Sophiel descend from heaven, warning Cherios to return everything he has stolen from their holy temples. Gabriel also demands to release Jean to their custody at once. However, Cherios not only refuses to their demands, but also declares a war against them. After knowing the truth from Gabriel, people protest against the king, but the castle's soldiers torture them. On the other hand, while escaping from the prison, Nina plans to fight with the guards while Jean tries to escape. However, suddenly King Cherios arrives there and stops Jean and Nina. He informs Jean that gods have declared the war, and if his son joins them, he will also kill him mercilessly. Watching Cherios closely, Nina realizes that Cherios is the man Chris she met at the festival. After that, the soldiers take them back to their cells, but suddenly Rita arrives there to help them. The gods prepare for their attack on humans, while King Cherios and the army have also prepared to defend their country. However, the opposition to the upcoming war increases among the people of Anatolia. On the other hand, Nina and others are on their way to leave the prison. They land in a mining cart and take off while being pursued by guards. In the meantime, the gods descend and get ready to fight Cherios' army. El, using his insane magical powers, neutralizes Onyx soldiers, helping all angels to attack and destroy Cherios' army. On the other hand, Favaro and Kaisar also escape the prison thanks to Kaisar's metal hand and Favaro's magic. They run away and unite with Nina and others. However, Cherios uses his ultimate weapon, which rises from prison, while he's on his way to fight the gods. Watching the ultimate weapon, Lady Gabriel gets terrified and says the weapon is called Dromos. It is the weapon of mass destruction born from the forbidden knowledge, which Cherios has stolen from them. Gabriel orders her forces to fall back and to return to heaven immediately. The angels do not return and continue their attack. Watching this, Gabriel tries to fall back without them, but El interferes with her magic, saying they have not saved his mother yet. On the other hand, Charios activates the Dromos, making an enormous attack, while El releases his full powers and tries to stop the attack. However, the attack is so powerful that it easily defeats El's powers and destroys Gabriel's place. During the attack, Nina falls from the cliff and bumps into Charios. As El is defeated and Lady Gabriel has returned, Onyx soldiers make their move and start killing the remaining angels. On the other hand, watching Kaiser and Jean getting attacked by the soldiers, Nina hugs Charios and turns into dragon to save her friends. After Nina returns to normal, Rita takes her and Jean away in the carriage while the soldiers catch Kaiser. Later, Rita jumps off the carriage to save Kaiser while Nina and Jean decide to visit Nina's village. Kaiser is imprisoned inside the castle where his old comrade Diaz visits him. Diaz informs him that all knights have become useless. However, Kaiser gives him courage, saying he has met Jean, and within no time, they will rise again as Orlan's knights. Meanwhile, Nina and Jean finally arrive at Nina's village and meet her family. After that, Nina takes Jean around the village and meets the village's elder. Jean introduces herself to Granny and asks her about the land of gods. Granny then tells them that the gods and demons worked together 2,000 years ago to take down Bahamut. Granny says that she took the injured gods to their homeland on her back during that attack. Hearing the story, Nina does not believe she can take the gods on her little back. However, in the following day, when Granny transforms, Nina becomes shocked to see she's transformed into a huge dragon. The two then continue their journey to the land of gods. Somewhere on the barren land, the Lord of Demons, Lucifer, in his best interest for the survival of demons, did not take any actions against the humans. However, he only waits for a perfect opportunity to make his moves against the humans. Meanwhile, the deadliest killing machine in Anatea, the Rag Demon, Azazel, is taken to Colosseum to fight demons for his survival. On the other hand, when Granny and others arrive at the barrier to the land of gods, Granny realizes she cannot go any further and throws the carriage above the barrier to the land of gods. Meanwhile, Elle is depressed, sitting alone when Sophiel arrives there with Bacchus and Hamsa. She decides to leave Elle with Bacchus and Hamsa in their protection, but Bacchus utterly refuses. However, he instantly agrees when Sophiel offers him wine as his reward. Bacchus tries to talk to him, but Elle does not listen to anyone. Nina and Jean land in a near forest where Nina starts wandering around and eating different fruits. Suddenly, an angel Ridwan with her forces arrives and surrounds Nina and Jean, thinking they might be some human intruders. However, when Jean introduces her as Elle's mother, she takes them inside the palace. On the way, Ridwan shows them the place where fallen gods only exist as moving lights. Watching the tremendous sacrifices they made when battling Bahamut and during the most recent human attack, Nina realizes why Charios is so despised by gods. Meanwhile, Charios has ordered his workers to break the seal holding Bahamut on the island of Ibos. On the other hand, Nina and Jean meet Sophiel and Lady Gabriel, who tell Jean that Elle is safe, but is being confined due to their loss in the recent war. Jean then reunites with Elle, and Elle becomes extremely happy to see her mother. Elle tells Jean how he was bought as a demon slave, how Azazel saved him and gave him the name Mugaro. Elle intends to travel back to the surface world to handle the things himself, but Gabriel does not let him go. Elle has become arrogant, saying Gabriel cannot save the world, but the only one who can save it is him. Jean is unhappy with Elle and leaves him alone for a moment, making him very upset. After some time, Mina arrives and attempts to talk with Elle, but he does not respond. Hamsa advises her that she should leave Elle alone for a moment. While Elle listens to their talk, Nina and Hamsa then start talking about the carriage Hippogriff. Nina tells Hamsa how they passed the barrier with the help of the village elder Granny and Hippogriff. Later that night, they are fast asleep when Nina leaves Elle's room. However, it was not Nina, but Elle wearing Nina's clothes. Nina suddenly awakes from a nightmare in which she was dancing with Charios and becomes shocked to see that her clothes are changed. She tries to wake Hamsa and Bacchus, but suddenly realizes that Elle is gone. Hearing this, Hamsa and Bacchus wake up and begin to panic that they will be exiled from heaven again. They act like Elle wants to go outside for a walk and then run away. Ridwan sees them running away and informs Lady Gabriel about the incident. Nina and the others realize that Elle must have gone to Hippogriff, as he wants to get back to the surface and watch them the whole time. As they search near all Hippogriff, they find Elle and try to capture him, but their plan fails and Elle gets away again. While chasing him again, Nina jumps over him and tries to capture but falls into the barrier, forcing Elle to save her. However, due to the force of the barrier, when Elle is unable to fly and when all the gods are gathered around Bacchus, he jumps into the barrier and uses his Hippogriff to catch Elle and Nina. They somehow manage to escape the barrier and decide to go to the capital. On the other hand, Kaiser is brought to the Colosseum to fight Azazel for his survival. As the match begins, Azazel and Kaiser start fighting while Favero is watching them from the audience. Azazel attacks Caesar, but Caesar only defends his attacks. When Azazel pushes Caesar and brings him down, Favaro throws Rocky at Caesar, which helps him to finish the fight. However, Caesar does not kill Azazel, and with the help of Favaro's smoke attack, they manage to escape the ring. They meet Rita outside and decide to stop Charios' Bahamut war to protect the world. Nina and others reunite with Rita and Favaro in the slums of Demons. They all think of a plan to stop Charios from using Dromos again. Rita informs that Charios controlled Dromos with the help of a bracelet which reacted to its power. They all then plan to steal the bracelet. Meanwhile, Sophiel stops Jean from going after Elle, but she suddenly jumps into the barrier, forcing Sophiel to save her. Sophiel understands Jean and promises to help her find Elle. On the other hand, Nina dresses as a demon and goes out to play. She encounters Chris, who is there to visit his mother's grave. Chris and Nina walk around together and play with the demon kids living in the slum. After that, they kiss and profess their love to each other. Nina suddenly realizes she has unlocked her ability to turn into a dragon and then take him on a flight around the city. Nina returns to the group while they are discussing to attack the king at the upcoming royal ball. Nina then shows them she can now turn into a red dragon at her own will, which makes Azazel mad. On the other hand, Kaiser meets with Alison and Diaz to set up an entry to the royal ball, while Onyx mates hire a mercenary to kill the red dragon. Rita and others devise a plan to infiltrate the ball, which starts with Nina and Alessin entering the castle as a couple, while Favaro is with Dia acting as a knight. Meanwhile, before going to the ball, Charios thinks his Onyx bracelet will kill him if he uses Dromos again. However, despite knowing all the facts, he has to complete his mission. After sneaking into the party, Nina approaches Charios and offers him to dance with her. After the dance, Charios takes her onto the balcony and tells her to leave the castle and not meet him again. Nina becomes heartbroken, but suddenly Favaro arrives and warns him to hand over his bracelet. Charios reveals the bracelet cannot be taken off as long as he lives. When Favaro is about to attack him, Nina stops him, and then they escape using smoke bombs. They reach the port with Kaiser, but encounter Onyx soldiers and the mercenary. Nina turns into a dragon to fight him, but the mercenary is revealed to also be a dragon folk. Their furious fight begins, but the mercenary overpowers Nina and defeats her easily. Suddenly, Elle, Jean, and others arrive as reinforcement and defeat the mercenary and Onyx forces. Later, Sophiel explains to the group that Dromos is a weapon of destruction born from the ancient magical technology that the gods sealed away after not being able to unravel its secrets. After that, Elle agrees to return to the land of gods with Jean, while Bacchus and Sophiel decide to stay until they figure out Charios' true intentions. Afterwards, when Elle is about to leave, Alessin suddenly appears and stabs Elle, leaving him to die. However, Favaro sees Alessin leaving the hideout and instantly takes Elle to Rita. Rita tries to save Elle, but after much struggle, she is unable to do so and Elle dies in her hands. Watching her son dead, Jean and Sophiel return to the land of gods and inform Lady Gabriel about the incident. Meanwhile, Alessin meets Onyx Knight's captain, proving that he has killed Elle and requesting to join the Onyx Knights. But he is forced to change his thoughts when he sees the core of Onyx Knights. Azazel returns to Hell and requests Lucifer to attack Charios, while Jean is given the power of an angel and declares war on Charios' army. Jean gathers an army of demons, people, and angels and starts attacking the king's castle. On the other hand, when Charios is about to activate Bahamut, Nina and Favaro arrive at Imos and encounter Charios and his soldiers. Nina fights with Charios, but is unable to kill him. Charios' old advisor reveals that King's true intentions are to kill Bahamut. When the device explodes, Nina and Favaro escape with Hippogriff and watch Bahamut's awakening. The fight between Jean's army and Charios' army continues, with Jean proceeding to the king's location. Onyx soldiers continue to kill everyone with their abilities. Suddenly, Lucifer and his airborne warship with Azazel joins the battle and starts killing Charios' army with angels. On the other hand, while Kaiser and Diaz are fighting the soldiers, Diaz sees Alessin running away and chases him back. When Diaz catches up to him, Alessin tries to kill Diaz but fails. He then runs again, but is later killed by a demon child. On the other hand, when Jean and Azazel arrive at Charios' flying battleship, they encounter the Onyx Knights. However, after killing the knights, when Jean and Azazel unleash their powerful attack on Charios, Kaiser suddenly appears and faces the attack, eventually sacrificing himself for his king. Watching Kaiser dead, Charios allows Jean and Azazel to kill him after he defeats Bahamut. After that, Charios activates Dromos' ultimate attack while all demons and gods form a protective barrier to save everyone outside. Nina suddenly reaches out to Charios and combines her powers with him to form a powerful attack and eventually kill Bahamut. Nina, in her dream, meets a woman called Amira who says something in her ear and vanishes. Everyone watching Bahamut dead celebrates their success. After that, everything gets back to normal. Cherios loses both his eyes and Mina loses her voice, but they both find happiness together. In the end, Favero reveals Bahamut is not dead yet while Zombie, Rita, and Kaiser watch him from above.